everyone, it's Bethany with Fidelis Property Group. Let's talk coronavirus and the Northern Virginia real estate market. Thanks for joining me today in what is a very uncertain and frankly anxiety-provoking time in not just Northern Virginia or the country, but really the world. I know you've been wondering how coronavirus will affect the real estate market, which constitutes a big percentage of most people's wealth, as well as the safety measures that you should undertake if you're buying or selling right now. So let's get into it. I want to take a minute to first reassure all of our current clients and anyone out there with a property under contract in Virginia. As of today, there shouldn't be any interruptions to your currently scheduled closings. Virginia has declared a state of emergency, and this does impact the courthouses, which on Monday, March 16th, were ordered to close. And as we know, the recording of land records by the courthouses is an essential part of closing on the house. It's the final step of legally transferring property from one party to another, and the action which triggers that funds be dispersed to all parties. However, the Virginia Supreme Court has ruled that the closing of courthouses applies to court services except for essential services. And one of those essential services is the recordation of land records. So as of today, March 20th, all courthouses in Virginia are accepting recordings in some form. Now, if we were to move to any kind of full-scale quarantine, meaning that all movement is restricted except for medical appointments and grocery shopping, this could change. So of course, we'll keep you posted on any developments that could impact your closing. I do want to note that we are also seeing a very low incidence of buyers and sellers backing out of contracts and forfeiting their earnest money deposit due to coronavirus concerns. Although it's happening, it's still the exception and not the rule. And we don't have any data to support that it's happening at a significantly higher rate than usual. Next, I want to answer the most frequently asked question we've gotten recently, which is, how will the coronavirus affect the real estate market? The self-quarantine measures are definitely having some impact, and we'll talk about what that looks like in practice, although it will be difficult to quantify exactly how much of an impact for a few more weeks when the data starts to roll out and we're able to compare that to the previous month before the self-containment measures began. There's no question that coronavirus has affected the economy, and as a result, it will affect real estate to some degree. The question we really need to ask is, how much and for how long? And I think it's really important to note here that we're not looking at another 2008 financial crisis at this point. That economic downfall was specifically caused by complex real estate-backed financial instruments, and the stock market lost over 50% of its value as a result. Moreover, the answer of how to backstop those financial institutions was a lot less clear. Ultimately, coronavirus will abate and someone will develop a vaccine. How long that takes is yet to be determined. A best case scenario in the US would be that the coronavirus curve is flattened to the point where we would still have a spring market, but that it would occur in the summer months instead. A more severe scenario would be that the virus takes longer to contain, and thus it takes several more months to return to a normal market, which in our area has been heavily weighted in favor of sellers for several years. Our biggest challenge right now is simply uncertainty. Buyers and sellers who do not need to move and who are sitting on the sidelines waiting to see how this all plays out. However, there are a couple of factors that may mitigate the impact of coronavirus on the real estate market. The first is low interest rates, which will be beneficial to all buyers nationwide. Rates continue to remain at a historic low and attract buyers who want to take advantage of that affordability. A 1% decrease in housing interest rates is equivalent to about 10% more in what you can afford to buy. So we expect that to continue to be a motivating factor, especially in our region where space is at a premium. The second factor is that many of the policy initiatives currently being ordered by the administration and working their way through Congress are specifically meant to support consumers and homeowners, such as the FHA moratorium on foreclosures. Anything that helps current homeowners stay in their homes is going to prop up the housing market overall, since foreclosed homes have a long-term impact on the property values around it. However, there are two other things that will buffer the Northern Virginia real estate market specifically compared to the rest of the country. The first is low inventory. Northern Virginia has experienced lower inventory than most markets over the last several years, and because of our density, there's not much room to build anything. That trend is likely to continue for some time. We have traditionally been hit less hard by real estate downturns than other parts of the US as a result of this factor. Second, Northern Virginia also has a higher ratio of secure federal and government jobs than many other areas, and a lot of turnover from military families who PCS to and from this area routinely. So our percentage of the population that simply needs to move and aren't as affected by job uncertainty is greater than that of other parts of the country. From an anecdotal perspective, we are seeing a slight downtick in buyer traffic, and this is primarily our clients that do not need to move immediately. They're scaling back their search as they focus on getting prepared for being at home for an extended period of time. So they are still searching for a home, but because they have at least 6 months before they need to move, they're keeping an eye on homes online. If they need to see something, we're offering them virtual tours instead, either doing FaceTime with them at the property or creating videos that we share with them afterwards. For buyers that are still searching in person, agents are being asked when they make your showing appointment to confirm that no one in the party is exhibiting any signs or symptoms of sickness whatsoever. The second thing we're seeing, although our long-term buyer traffic has slowed slightly, many updated, well-priced homes are still selling with multiple offers. This is because our clients who still need to move, for example, they have an expiring lease or a new job in another state, are still searching and very much want to take advantage of the low interest rates. So there are absolutely still people who need to buy and sell, even in this uncertain time. This is why it's more important than ever as a seller that your home is beautifully staged and priced right. Reach out to me directly if you're thinking of selling and need a strategy that will maximize your chances at getting a great offer. I'm happy to set up a meeting virtually in whatever method is most convenient for you. The third thing we're seeing on the seller side is far fewer open houses. Since some sellers feel uncomfortable with that level of traffic in the home, a lot of agents and their clients are choosing not to have them, and homes are open by appointment only. As an alternative, many agents are offering virtual open houses by which they give live video tours of the home instead. For those that are choosing to hold traditional open houses, there are a few best practices for safety. The agents are typically bringing extra pens and sign-in sheets so that no one has to share when signing in, and or bringing sanitizer to clean each pen after use. They're also limiting throughput, so be prepared if there are already 10 people in the home, you may be asked to wait at the door until a few people leave. So this brings us to a few safety tips if you're either buying or selling in this market. If you're buying, bring hand sanitizer or sanitizing wipes. Many listings that are coming soon to the market this week will have these things supplied for you, but if the home has been active for a couple days or if the agent wasn't able to find those supplies, they may not have them, so you'll want to bring your own cleaning materials. If you're working with me, I'll supply them for you. Try not to enter open houses when they're overly crowded. Wait for a few people to leave and then venture in so that you can maintain several feet of space between you and the next person. The CDC recommendation is at least 6 feet between people. And try not to touch surfaces in the home. Unless you need to open a door to check something out, it's best to stay as hands-off as you can. And of course, if you're not feeling well, stay home. If you're selling, supply hand sanitizer or wipes to your visitors and have a sign requesting that all visitors use them upon entry. I am now offering floor plans and video of the home at no additional cost in order to give buyers who don't feel comfortable visiting a better sense of the space if they want to make an offer. When you get home after a showing, disinfect high traffic surfaces like doorknobs, light switches, as well as countertops. And of course, if anyone in your household is showing symptoms, hold off on your listing so that you can self-quarantine and get the medical attention you need. If you have more questions about the current market or want a strategy for your unique needs, call or email me directly. As usual, I'll be doing our regular monthly market updates to keep you informed of how real estate values are trending in light of what's going on. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified about new videos. Stay safe and stay healthy.